PSG won, Newcastle won. Newcastle have just been robbed by VAR and the referee in Paris. That was never a penalty. Ousmane Dembele crosses the ball. It hits Livramento on the chest, goes onto his arm. It's just never a penalty. There's no doubt about it. If the on-field decision had been to give a penalty, you would have seen that be overturned 9 times out of 10, with the 10 being a poor decision. In this case, VAR sent the referee to the monitor after the referee said no penalty during open play. And the referee somehow has changed his mind. He can see the slow motion of the impact on the chest and then onto the arm, and still he gives the penalty. This is a referee who recently refereed a World Cup final. And I can only speculate as to why they gave this decision. Apparently, according to Eddie Howe in his post-match interview, the crowd was really putting a lot of pressure on the referee. But that should never be a reason, right? It's an awful decision, the worst I've seen in a long time. And VAR has come under a lot of scrutiny this season, not just in the Premier League, but also in the Champions League with some questionable decisions. This one was by far the worst of the lot. And it has a massive impact. Newcastle, had they won that game as they deserve to do, would have their qualification in their own hands. Winning against Milan would be enough to secure qualification. Now PSG hold that advantage. If they beat Dortmund in the final game, they will qualify. Newcastle have to beat Milan and rely on PSG dropping points away against Dortmund, who have already qualified. Yeah, there's not much to say, is there? It really just puts the game it puts the integrity of the game into question. And refereeing is just really going down the drain. VAR is in a crisis, probably the biggest crisis that it's been since its inception. It's hard to see a real way forward without them really cracking down on these handballs and soft penalty decisions. We've seen a lot of them in the Premier League, and now it's really affecting big matches in the biggest club competition in the world, the Champions League. Yeah, I expect we will see some serious questions being asked in the coming days. You might see headlines already saying it was a controversial penalty. That's an understatement. The word disgrace gets thrown around a lot nowadays, and I think too much. But this was a disgrace. There's no other way to describe it. So yeah, let's see where this goes, and hopefully Newcastle can do the business against Milan in the final leg, and PSG drop points against Dortmund. That way, you would say there's some kind of karmic retribution in this situation. But right now, Newcastle fans will feel very aggrieved, and as they should. Yeah, very disappointing night for football.